Alright, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Shift. Today we're going to be running you through how to diagnose a no crank, no start. That means when you turn the key, no cranking, absolutely nothing happens, okay? So a crank no start would be it cranks but doesn't fire. So then you're looking at fuel system, something maybe with the injectors, spark, or air. Okay, so that's not going to apply here. This is a no crank, no start situation. So basically when I would turn the key, I didn't hear any clicking or anything. If you were to hear clicking, that could indicate that your solenoid on your starter is going bad, okay? So that's not the case for me. So in this situation, I literally went through every single little thing that I possibly could diagnose and rule out, okay? And I was at a loss. I was about to pull my hair out because I was just so frustrated and could not figure it out. Okay, so I'll run you through what I did. Basically, there's ways to test these components, but what I did is I just went and bought the new components, saw if it fixed the problem. If not, I took them back, cleaned them up, whatever. Not a big deal. So if you can get away with that, that's probably the easiest way. That way you're not throwing a shit ton of money at the car playing parts darts. So basically my first thought is the starter is not cranking, okay? So I went and put a new starter in. Had to take the top mount off. It's a couple bolts down there. Everything's good. I actually checked to see if I had power to the starter, and I did. Now to the solenoid, which tells the starter to start, I was not getting power. So that would indicate that something is not telling the solenoid to turn the starter, right? So then we backtrack. Something in the wiring. So I checked the starter relay. I checked every single relay in this car. Everything tested out good. Every single fuse tested out good. So it didn't make sense. Now, when this whole problem started, I had been trying to adjust my clutch pedal, and I messed with the clutch switch, which tells the car that the clutch is down. Okay. However, there are two clutch switches on the clutch pedal. The one on the bottom, I believe, tells the car that the clutch is up. The one on the top tells the car that the clutch is down. The one I broke was the one on the bottom that says the clutch is up. Okay, so I replaced that switch. Still nothing. So then I even tried replacing my battery. Maybe it was a dead battery. All the lights were coming on. Nothing was happening. So then my next guess was maybe it's the ignition switch. So I actually replaced the ignition switch. Still nothing. Okay. So I'm getting power to the starter from battery to the starter, but I'm not getting power to the solenoid when I try and crank it. So then we're going back to something not telling it to start. Okay. So everything in here is good. I put the new starter in, that didn't change anything. Put the new ignition switch in, that did not change anything. So I'm going to take you under here, try and show you. It is kind of a mess, okay? So what we're looking at here, let's see, right there. That's the switch I accidentally broke. Now there's also one more right above it, okay? So I replaced this switch, still nothing. So what I ended up having to do, the car was basically saying that the clutch was not engaged even though it was engaged. So this is from the top clutch switch, okay? So I pulled it out and I jumped it with a piece of wire, okay? Now the car believes the clutch is down all the time. So if you're out of gear and you try and start the vehicle, even with the clutch not engaged, it is being told the clutch is down with that jumper wire. So with that said, I don't know how that top switch got messed with, but it did, okay? So I can either run with the jumper wire and make sure my car's never in gear when I go to start it, otherwise it'll just start taking off, or I need to replace the switch, which is what's going to end up happening. So basically that's kind of the run through. Also the starter relay, you take off this bottom cover here, the starter relay in this line of 6 is the third one from the top. Right there, okay? That's your starter relay. I tried putting a new relay in. Didn't fix the problem. I checked every fuse and every relay in this box. I checked every fuse and every relay down here, okay? Nothing. Like I said, new battery, new starter, new ignition switch. There was nothing left to check. So the only place I could go was the clutch switches, right? One says the clutch is down, one says the clutch is up. So I just gave it a shot and saw if I could fake out that wire, and if that jumper wire worked, that top switch is bad. Again, I don't know how it happened, but if you're getting a no crank, no start, and you have done absolutely everything and cannot figure it out, then that would be the place to look. So anyways, guys, I really hope this video helps. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll answer your questions to the best of my ability. I'm not a mechanic. I'm not very good at diagnostics, but I did learn a lot running through this whole process. So with that said, if you guys enjoyed the content, please hit the subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. Drop a like if you want to, and we'll see you in the next one.